Yo, assalamu alaikum, badingolu, ngal kontong, mobe dauda, anibe watu kabanan Sky Power Radio and TV services, la moral njibera kalbe kontong kal. Bismillah, na programo meng kaso de jang, loko nengi antemben sida civic education program. Yo, ngal badimalo Mustafa, jame mimbesirin programo kunna tembe. This is Sky Power Radio and TV services, studios West Yorkshire, Leeds, Stencil Mount. At the seat, my name is Mustafa Jame. Bokki déglu kat yi ñu leen di nuyu fii ci Sky Power Radio and TV services bàyyi ko ci studios West Yorkshire Leeds Stencil Mount ànd ak seen xarit Moustapha Jammeh nekkal leen fii ci rajo bi comme ngake ñame loko nit ñi temben sida ngana alfalfe min ni alonko banko ngamiranko ko katara wala la kuto fanna mi alonko kacabe kiring la fanna mi alonko sulo be woldo pour yana ye kacha mole jang wala ko mol konoto dia kula mimbe dending banko la ko ka kacha wakamala ngala hido di nun lokun tambila ngo melun tam bunyari basura jam minkita honorable Usainu Dawoti bari deto keta famfanke wakamala be mol hake dane la woke comme albeya moy nyamen ay audio min da pour que mol hake dane ka foko amam bendino nyamen aketa nyamen ngamra be wo kalam janne o kamalante fefen kelambe honorable Usainu Dabo ngawna atelom United Democratic Party la nyaton koti mba folo mba tendula bake mba jeila ay wato minta pour kana ka taramfe jang anim fanan ngalon ne ko Dabo kunnankolo mbara kita nyawnya ay lahido minta ay lahido mandile o kamala mba tendula mba jeila wokan folo mbe kela yalong introduction o kadia mo fangol sokoret kadia wolo fangol da kono te fofen kelambe Usainu Dabo tentulam ba jeyla nse abula anin lamerla nen jiberla le nyokon donc ni obore je inshallah on sinadum kacha kun kono honorable Dabo inimbare mo kende ebisimla for the first time on Sky Power
Jammeh ala baraka bake ini mo nyol mel be siri nyin dula bu ñaari mbato nyin dula kuma ba ka dadarke pilolante fanaye pour ni mols dolsi ñom moy don na kachabe atelle bay lamar lalu kalen aliye njia menna bi Sky Power and kan nani mi so fanay tandi ka hakko dani alla mo kenda jamala melke la mo alla ka ko nyin sibitan bila bebe jikring ka ko be nyom moy la manana keno al halul kamala bare bebe bolo sayla ka ko bi ngaka le ka ko menkata nu bi wata kala so ngaji ka ko mem menke no nyin sibitan bila ado ba hanni ma be ke bi sido keno jeto ka fanya men kama be bolo sai kalton fanal bi aliyan jandi nyama nyame ko ngafo jumalon diwal ngamira yo fo de kabang Usainu Dabo ngamaro ya be bande dolo Usainu Dabo ti na do ko mu luwa bundal to mu loyalty and na do fanan kafuama do kudo ka fama men kata political do ko de kata politician fananti no politician ya ko non nata fanan ka bunya ba soto jeto bunya me ya lon ka foko nka wasu wala le kadu bunya me ya lon ka foko ngalon ngaji ka foko gambia ni be political ko wala fala bunya la le wala United Democratic Party ka kala nyaton ko di bunya balente ye bunya me ya lon ka foko dantala so comment spia fedal mu wolati loyal monti politician lo monti ngamara loyal fanambi mo kiline benyato alfa yalla loyal kono so sabu ka ko ka deputy doyen next to the doyen of the bar o place of fanambe so nyen bunya place fulolo wala bembulu gambia banko kan nyimbe nyin tembo mento
akumada ba ke bara honorable Dabo dung ndey sebule ni mule nyokon dong ane nga dung ko kono
ya mbe molbe kontonna mbe eci Dabo kontonna nkay ko barka bake ye tay momenta pour kana in tolye kacha ka kudol bondi nyama kono mol bulu jang nga ko andung sibiti tambila ama ima ke make nobody hani bi ye mol bolo say ye mol apologize wo ay kujamale yitandi ay nyaton kaya yitandi ay la empathy yitandi ay la bunya yemen di mol la ay wo fana be yitandi la because wo ka important ne fana pour na la moy la na mol fana mel ka jube ya lonko leadership be wole nyaay kanale ye mol bolo say nga ko barka bake ila time mbafula na mole fanan ala barka bake bi nga luntambale soto mome ya lonko ni ko loi bankoto ibuka loi fo bankoto e ma tofo ibuka politique wo fo nyim bankoto e ma tofo so bi ntol fanan nyin ketan tolle bunya baleti yela time ta inata inin tolye kachani na la moyla mbal be ko nambe Aziz Suleiman bamba man na folo mbal be ko Mustafa barka bake every Saturday ika make sure ko fonga nyin kol diamu membe tarta banko kono wo wara wo ko warata bake a barka
ene mbara bake ndey Aziz ibe mute la yon mute Aziz
ñin keta ñe kontani kubati bi nin ñin banko alpha ba ye si nga platformo share ka kacha banko la kuola anin commento la platform ka même fo wala mu civic education ti ka nin banko dingolu si kacha bari ka banko alpha al membe ko alaji Usainu Dabo ke sambanan puri ni mol se kacha itaram bulo ila history dun tamen kono ini mol si isi wo fo molie nga jikinyi na ko fo se mol fana inspire katu ay leadership track record le soto me alon ko ajam fata baki woto nyimu big opportunity lati mbe alaji Usainu tentula baki time men ayata ayala kulu betuje kana kafumo jang pour nim banko dingol se kacha wo mu bunya baltin tolye wo mu bunya baltin nim platform we oto alaji Usainu ibismillah
ene mbara bake Aziz bon sol ñu bayla nga nuyo
Yes, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Honorable Dabo, mangla nuyu di la santa di la gërëm. Honorable Dabo de su nit buggee wax si mbaxaayam ak njiitam bon duñ jeexal programme bi tey because dinañ wax ci loolu be time bi jeex te pare nguñ. Man maa ngi ko meet in person in 2001 presidential election. Time boobu affaire a ngi lifin maa ngi nekkoon head of the para gaay ne ma dem fekki leen base bi ma ñëwee fekka ko këri MC Cham so gaay olu ñoon because dañ fogoon ne na government bi ma yónni ci moom waaye bi ma ñëwee gaay gis ma mu ne ma ñi suma doom lañ kii suma doom la ñoom MC Cham ñoom Amadou Hule lead Amadou Hule ñu ngi fa suma nijaay so noonu lañ demee ba after election bi yàlla def ma jógee foofu ñëw Angleterre ma lijjanti suma kayit yi ma call ko ma foog ne kii after 10 years du fàttaliku waaye ma ko koolee rek mu ne ma kan la ma ne ko Suleiman Jeng mu ne ma wo Mr Jeng ma ne waaw so I was shocked because after that long period foogoon naa ne fàtte na ma waaye he remembered everything ma ne ko dama need affidavit ne I was with you at this time mu ne ma bul woor yónnil saraka te kooku bi mu demee di following day la ko jox te bi ñëwee en 2016 Birmingham dama dugga si hall bi rek after kii nag alkali Conte mu ñëw mu ne mu nuyu ma xaw ma ko woon sax mu ne ma man maay alkali Conte mu ne ma bi nga dugga see Mr Dabo spoke very well of you ma ne ko really mu ne ma waa ma ne ko am surprise so yu nekk ñaari mbégte ci man so always dama ko dee wax ne du dee fàtte demba te nit ku dut fàtte demba ku jara tiye la ku jara xorma la te loolu mandarga bu rëy la ci njiit soo buggee jiit nekk njiit waroo fàtte demba waroo fàtte ñi nga commencé waroo fàtte ñi nga doon jóga ka daano Honorable Dabo du sa bot de nekkuloo fi dama ko dee wax toujours ne yow doo dee fàtte demba so maa ngi la ci sant di la gërëm te nag moom ma bamba dama ko dee soddal waaye tey mënuma def dara jërëjëf Dabo
jërëjëf bala ñoo dugg ci waxtaan bi Souleymane tane li nga wax noonu dégg la waaye mën nga fàttalekul guddi boobu bu ñu jógee ci biir kiyam ñu dem ko daal tig forest ñu war a dem Tankulaar amoon na ñu doon xew ci biir àll bi foofu ngeen arrêté moto yi yaa nekkoon njiit yi mesures yi ngeen jëloon pour protect ñu foofu maasuma délégation bi because ci àll bi xam nga yan façon nit la dugal si biir àll bi foofu all of them armed li naroon mu rëy ñu si àll boobu waaye li ngeen ñu fa taxawee ngeen jox proper protection escort ñu bee pipeline yéen ngeen aar suñu bakken ñun tam war ñoo fàtte loolu will ever remember that seen na su fekkoon ne yow nekkuloo woon in charge of the unit bi ñu foofu mun bu doon manko ñooñu ñu def ñu li bëggoon ñoom ñu am seen wee waaye nanguloo ko so naa bugg a feeñal ci àddina ci biir jamono àddina bi yëpp ne bés boobu da nga taxawoon pour aar ma suma life ak ñi ma àndaloon te duñ ko ever fàtte thank you very much for that
jërëjëf ci yow la because man bi ma ñëwee dag ma téye comme sa doom nga ne gi suma doom la so obviously nit doo taxaw nga gis keneen di disrespect sa papa so man pare woon naa dee waaye pare woon naa la protected loolu bokkoon na ci loo xam ne tax na ma bàyyi service bi maa ngi la see sant di la gërëm bu baax a baax jërëjëf
Alimbara honorable Nakachakungo bi lafta nga minjibe political leadership and in governance amu fenneti mi alon ka musula kualti mi ala nyanda kachala bare follow nimba nyinin karo follow la follow lafta nyinin kala min en kono to dia kumin Polong United Democratic Party jela mu la nyaton ko lafta ya fonyi UDP munamu ila longkang daliloti
the United Democratic Party la longkang wolong hanbi ka Gambia bonde katu Gambia nka fan soto fole bari nim fan sotota mankem fantati yetara family be kol kala anyeke fantato manke kilindi na kato kenu fo membi janto nun wobota janto dole ala pala sota bari ibuka men dol fatata kolon suto ke cikala dimbayal kono bari luwal mel yalon ka foko wole sembodi president la nyim banko kan kabri 1994 for sign wol waklin wole bijanto tamandir nyalo falim manki jeto wala ketam mol bula kato tanya to sayun ko mo wala ketam mol ya na men hamme banko ya o man sot no banko ya what hanbi 1996 kabri UDP be duna politiko kono UDP form la tumo menna me ya kana UDP formed a reasons nyolo are as valid today as they were in 1996 oto falling manke nim falling ka dafa na mol falinta taman renyal man falling banko ban halo menta man falling baluo koleata de baluo a koleata kol mel yalon ka ko mol su tel sula tela fanno kumma saboto ododo man soto mol la kono abe kense yare kono kensen konko be mol fala ni tata loptano to boro ta sotna nim fentete beta saita sasata man sola funding sira wo damma ni stankani no barka ko jarlo bole sol ani kadu ni lafta jarlo kende wala ebdale private clinics nyonto ado do le suta clean fang is $11,000 10 to $11,000 bole dépense la jeto mo jolle be intella tankon kunda mo jolle be intella wul brief mo jolle be intella kantale kunda kantora mo jolle be nakiyangon mele alam ka ko wuri tan nin killing isa bonno ka ko bakela jaro to suto killing kam os jaro nyata solla da wolom na loptan batin ma fako a doctor snol tijeto no la condition tata ngela condition snol je abala fa warta islaf do ko wala ba do ku joran anin bakala environment ma kado ko ke wala tebulu na karam bunda fanan gajar na exam la dindinglu membe ke kayla grade 12 exams nyolo nyelam ko mal ka kuma sakunda ta ka kuma sakunda nyanta ya nyata linyilla ala ya long niko tanya kata kana ay sono ya a nyantale silor nyantale do kude gajani be silo do kula konko be molla jani be silo do kula jara loke famma mo no warsota no e ko ambulance o tansai ngole mo ambulance o tansai yole distribute no sunga sanji saba sanji nan koma bar bi jumalo ko ambulance la kuma moy ko fem fene mo ambulance la ko to be ba lambasan so sambala satolto sato melanu ka hani medical outpost ma soto ambulance la nafaje wo munete yenna nyomi nyol ko ne ambulance samba jeto ni ku kata suto enyata mo sambala banjul laptano e bita nyaale do you have to go around Transgambia kana muna ne temiro kala ka ko ambenyi ambulance mel sambala fa njaga choy noto mel sambala jana bunyadu nin suto talanta ni fulasita adu monyanta emergency ata loptan banyu loptan do mboten la nyame inyanta yon bele factor in la ambulance la sodo asukuma ya panin dodo manka kuti alko ya address quand même fo ala jube ambulance wal frère dialo mol kalore boy nyabola silo jube mol kalore ma nyabol ba nafa fankata men nyanta kilometer wala bukana na soto ma fu koy manya na kala bare priorities nyolo nyanta ngol le consider yele kata UDP la quality covering 1996 ko moliam fan soto fula na development projects nyolo I impact meaningfully more lives nyol come na road ma be schools nyol loka go very good ya jama is doing well ka karamul lo bare ta karamul lo la karila sobiol man trajeto that is quality education imo soto o mo karambulo man fa soto Professor District Hospital and in Buyam Hospital yefen ko very good and a better at but in wall of town yellow muborol man trajeto Professor government ye Dr. Sella Loptano yata wayata man sukunda fa yala Loptano so jeto MRC fanambe farafenya ko jani bo Loptan ba be ko ba be tala yake Dr. Sella Loptano me lan kama sukunda yata ani farafenya district hospital membe jeto wol upgrade bang e kodo nying ibe men dépense la di farafenya hospital nyindo wo kodo nyi yata ye Loptan ko tan developer la properly in the other areas bari ni bandalo mo kabin ba foka ko kombe political la mantara ko ka fo quand même banko na fala ba bi akweta mo bi male ka ko quand même fo wala sahata quand même fo wala sahata
akumada honorable Dabo itemu loyalty no yenyin kuma kanol fo kuma dantam fo la kumol ko ne ko fuaria anin jaralol nin karambungol woli yesula wala yatinna because ñin ngaro ko keda minedi UDP la lonkan dalilo oto ila foro to kamulon ko UDP nada pour ka foire yale bay UDP nada pour ka jaralol le sonen UDP nada pour ka foire le ñaaji fita malom fo ni ngela ko moy yewle fo wala
musahata
okay yalo ite munun loyalty yen loya yabula inata idunta politique party kon hansa im loyalty hes
mabula de
okay saying nyin kol be kono lafte nyin kala minala yalan ko ku ni ba kono ya jamela time woni bitilo munal la kake ila kole ya kuoti nin kole ya ku bije munal la mot
well certainly ya jamela time oto na kole ya kol kake menti wolon kambe na political taman la nyamen killing fula really na practice nyam fanam. Okay, on the surface bena political taman la nyamen janto b be te momento o man kenya problem bati kaduko ning apply ta pamitola anytime nka sotle na même tem na problem oti b wala access to the media that GRTS ila former managing director Mr. Jeng and Hani current managing director and Alamane Man Kaparkalai, the current managing director of an ambo policy la kare wal fanambo policy of an ambo le taman de kan bi ko no dissenting views on GRTS. So the mokota nok moto fola GRTS ya lon kavoko an mansa kundala kumol manke klinti wala ay kumol mela kavoko betala mansa kundae nyaaja wala ila kuma anyanda kala mansa kunda jairangalti ay ke mansa kunda tentul dangti note tem wo bijeto hanbi. And of course na practice, as far as na practice is concerned, wo muka sign sculptural kata court semi retirement kata court just on matters of high constitutional importance, of high public law importance. Wo I go to court, and of course I get free lady because we do those litigations in the name of the United Democratic Party. So we don't expect anything from that. Yeah? But Okola Hanbide on the sides. Kamol ke fenkele de ke Islandi demandende yo itele be lawyer double officer yo lawyer double itala lawyer ti. And of course businessmen all ni ofolie e be withdraw le ita haila nalanka wo ngalo no ngalo wo beke kanne wo beke kanne so but wonya momante jija on sama amante jija kan be dun na politiko kontu mo na ngaji law be male gaf kol bes ke non dale
so akamul ne kole akol yakilin na ko alla kole akol mu womo access to media dammal or UDP beats lo ila kole akol mu access to media dammalati beatlo fo
well it's access to media is the greatest, one of the greatest function. And of course, permissional canale, but late. So that, from Mayalon Kavoko, you need to take certain actions. Within 3 days, Nyanta Melkela, you see yourself doing it within 5 hours. Because you have to do something on a Saturday, it's a permit or delay for Friday. So, you are not given enough time. Kela preparations, certainly you are not given that time. Yes.
Okay. I've got one more. So what are the key challenges you face during the transition from opposition leader to holding significant position, power like Vice President Yado and Minister of Foreign Affairs?
Well, certainly, Vice President, I think it's more of a nominal position, more of a ceremonial position. Because satellite phone call Melbe Koto, they are not they are not important either, but they are not the high profile departments. Imari Koto Jeto, you are assistant to the president. So sometimes you wait for delegation Kenya. And of course, for me, il a potential can use there's a limitation on it because you are not in a position to take certain executive decisions. No. I know Jawara at time to vice presidency, the civil service under the vice president. But in this on the borough, at least when I was vice president, there are rules. We are limited. We are very ceremonial. Yeah,
Okay.
very ceremonial. Of course. As foreign minister, yes, I was doing. I think I was doing a lot. I was leading delegations for resource mobilization for the OIC. I want to say Kavoko na executive secretary Mr. Sane with him and two or two other civil servants. We went out Fenyining, and I'm proud to say that Menyining for Niela Dinyokang Wale Gambia ya Mako Walla for OIC conference market ya Keno. And of course, other things, if I want to bring Gambia back to her status, as the human rights capital of Africa.
Thank you.
That I want to do. And I have started putting myself on that track.
Okay. Janin Debina, left the meme for left the meme for la diamo kono ngamin faham. Correct me.
Unta ya mereda mama la fa be fola ba. Kabirinda na reda mal be diamola. Kana oke de.
Kani wiletale ide.
Hani leta ndela mu jojo te jang. Nim baba te jang. Baba di wala mun tede. So dol bana bule baba nyini ka janni ba fola ko ha ala wisen na tele tul man chan soto ka nyini ka. Ibi bule ya nyini ka. Binde ka inde be sila la ngala moydro because he is my father.
Yo, lafta min nyinin kala jannim bamba bina, jannim kadim bankundula ngamo ya tata fatara tuba la fatara mundola nata mule ya kumasa akoma. Bari, woto ite la vice president ya wato, ibi jela dono dankodoro.
Well, therefore, as far as the portfolio of the vice president is concerned, of course, I make my position on issues, and because Jemu, as far as the cabinet Janyame, is place Melanka for a place of equal voices. Place of equal voices, and you don't have to be there to save our president. What is Jeto? Yako Janyame, Itayaja Kabu Kabanko na Fala Nyame. Nka for Jewo Nyame.
Okay, Ndai?
Yes, ishi abarkabake. Ishi lafta muru la koma demanding katu Mustafa ye nyinin kale ko koleal men UDP ya soto albe koleal mel kono ya foko ha access to media bari kolea do fana mol katara fola malon fo fana amu kolea men to UDP fana as a party ila under your leadership yo fana jube wala mu fair and free election because mol meta fola loko election no buka fair ika election no sunyale abuka ta nyama ando ngajele UDP fana yo sambandu kol manata fo wo fana manke kolea doti alla taman ya bulnado ko election no man tarafere kol man senea mbe bukalo membe bije
well niaja moto fo ko wamange kun mela ka wato wati electoral ka wato wati is one of a time but ko mela ka foko kada men ka keta ki wato wati wala modi but certainly la hidolo mentata dalilo me yatin na fang for UDP nkolu jamata ta kasola ya dol bute dol fata lafta falindrol la luwal to me yalon kavakol marta kata fayola banko kan electoral reform and constitutional reform lafta alla no banko kan anu wala fanan kata kumate men dita gambian kol 2016 pa gambian college ko soto kama sekunda fale kafo ya jame kafo ko ni tata ngete ngela tela fieto danjele sa ita fana yempu ngadi ñing coalition mol fanal la ngai wol fanal be menkela wala kendi ya baro vote in bari wallahi dolo really all man ko kudmela ka ko itimmata wallahi dol man timma adun ko men bebe keka wallahi dol ni men dita molla ketinya ke janjang funke note manza kunda me aluka ko corruption ko ya jame corruptale fo tata commission on londi ko ya investigate ana fe molu kajube foila soto fen ay men soto fani silo tata fani silo manta manza kunda me ko manza kunda na funti ako atebe luwale natla me yalon kafoko jani be pala so tala president yala o jani be pala so tala minister yala isoto fen be isa be tan de dunia la ba nillu mene be bola president yala wala be bola minister yala yemen be soto ita han butut killing ita itan la dunia la adun munan corruption don ka fe ko ni be pala so to lomo e ka dun corruption ko sai utama me opportunity soto to amass illegal wealth, illicit gains, illicit resources. Time when I opportunity soto. Because time when to enquete la, but time when na more opportunities to go what only ball investigate la. And such a kafoko na lahido ko corruption o kakele a manke tonyati na lahido kafoko ilafta corruption o kaba manke tonyati. In fact, corruption o ilafta constitutional guarantee ilafta le deal for corruption. Ba nemo vice president, nemo minister or vice president, adiata nyanya o nyama. Insata. Ba constitution mafoko, insa I have to declare it. Jamela ni constitution ala janala jaw ya pay. Na ko public office every 2 years. Ini anta yela ila sort of ya itandi. Adi ni babo la masukunda so as a minister, ila sort of for nyanta ya be itandi. Kama wala mfu for corruption fight. Na je fang Kako the Anti-Corruption Act, covering 31st January, no president has signed. Covering 31st January, from the bill mento, the Anti-Corruption Commissioner Malo. It is a corruption of finance.
Okay.
And what law Nola, Marlo, Kadiko Bar Association has a role in the selection of the commissioners. And what of discourse like the Bar Association Mamba Kalama. So
Yeah,
no past since January, since 31st January, this is the 10th month. We just have two more months for its anniversary. Manza kuna meje hamo soto kwebe corruption o kella. Ito wonwani lumena pasta 31st January a pasta before the 15th of February. In fact, on the 18th of February, President Nyanta Lola would have a anti-corruption commission on you na inaugurate. So there was a Gambian council with that.
Sai ila miroto ila jeroto ekaminfo mune atinna woman lo woto bi mansakunda mimbe siring e corrupta lo woto fo.
Well, most of kafo ko no imam laf jaloni yebu yenyi jaloni fa ikaye muta. That is all. And of course, more ba for kafko that corrupt but member be caring. Member be care is sari mo belema. Corruption member care sari mo belema. At least President Amabaroda Madis Naide, when I talk about corruption in the central government, local government, so he's admitting, yes, that's corruption, but the corruption is not just it's just not in my place, but it's also local government. Yeah? So
yes. Mr. Dao, Mangla nuyu di la santa di la gërëm. Kadim dafa late after dinañ ko fine because Baba warul ko teel a agsi. Gannaaw loolu nga ne UDP ñu ngi ko sos 1996 and depuis 1996 yaa ngi try for the presidency. 2021 ñëpp ñu ngi yaakaaroon ne ndame UDP la. You were also very confident. And I've been following UDP since propaganda machinery, and I keep saying they've got a lot of people like Larry Cisse, Dr. Mane, then they approach media houses, then they sell UDP programs and policies. So lolu mu ngi firndel ne UDP ngi taxawaay boo xam ne 2026 bugut ndam bi raw leen. So dama bëgga nga wax ñu si fan fax na ngeen weer ne 2026 presidential election bi ndam bi dafay nekk bu UDP.
Well, okay, Mr. jërëjëf loolu nag ñu ngi cee liggéey waaye ni ñu ko defee nag loo buñ ko wax kenn parce que su fekkee woon wane nañu suñ loxo parliamentary elections si liñ fa amoon duñ ko doon am also the local government elections. We are keeping that close to our chest ba pare ut leneen loo xam ne ñu ngi ko cee yokk ne because dañ li fi ne gentlemen lañ they will not do anything wrong despite the fact ne dégg nañ Ibrahima Silla ne ñun dinañ win parce que mu ne ñu ñun xamu nañ lañ lay def loolu la wax Peter Gomez Coffee Time mu ne ko xam nañ lañ lay def so ñun dinañ gagné te bem lim figo waaye nag dañ process side loolu ne loolu waxi politicien la rek waaye nag ñoo xam liñ def waaye liñ def ñun tam day make sure ne defuñ ko ci National Assembly elections si ak ci local government elections si te nañ leen gën a naka lañ ko wax nañ leen gën a garder ñu gis ne yooyu lañuy defoon duñ ko defaat waaw.
ok léegi su fekkee ne 2026 election bi presidential election bi ñëw na Gambian si ne ok léegi bëgg nañu dénk réew mi honorable Darboe ak UDP so naka la ñoo xamee ne UDP du seen nguur gi du mel ni nguuri Barrow bi lan mooy utee nguuri UDP ak nguuri Barrow.
well xam nga suma waxee loolu fii nañ ne wel kuy ut karta façon waxi lay wax waaye lan moo nekkoon suñ attitude biñ nekkoon di position government loolu war na laa woon suñ fekkee jox nañ complete control of the government we make sure ne Gambian si liñ bugga nañ ko am one dinañ prioritize the development projects because loolu am solo la two nañ make sure ne wasteful spending loolu génne nañ ko réew mi and we'll also make sure ne corruption doo ko mën a génne completely waaye nag di nga ko fight nga reduce ko to its BRS minimum under UDP government an anti-corruption commission pour establish ko will not be late we'll do it immediately in fact su fekkee ne UDP government moo amoon balaa ñoo def sa the current anti-corruption bill the anti-corruption lifin bi fa nekkoon loolu la ñoo doxal will implement the provisions of those laws however imperfect they are but they would still serve purposes. We would have done that. You don't have to wait for a new law to come into force. But you already, you have a law in force. Implement that law with its imperfections, and then work towards making this other one, bringing a better law. Mohamne will strengthen the hands of the anti-corruption commission. Will make the investigations by the anti-corruption commission. The investigation is not very easy and very productive. Right off law, the former is Benin law. That will not do. Narawali, Mr. Jan, the mission and the period that I was paid per diem, I didn't stay there for that period. When I came back, to my peers, look, I didn't spend the whole time there. So Lee Khalis me, but for the other days that I was not aware, it should go back to government. Majoko Khalis me, he then fake to treasury and got my receipt for it. My peers then surface Ankara, you can see. She can attest to that. So those are the things that you would want to do. Do jail office be defco utikai Khalis. So if I can put Khalis. Why madam choose my private practice be? No, I'm some good brief see. I'm some big time client see. I'll do that. Why no?
Yes. So my last question be before my colleagues see. In the regards yang ne solena would permit like then lena jo for example today Saturday la program be permit be mungenyo on Friday. So gis na tamit amun na ben speech bi nga meg yang don won IGP bi pour nangu ñu ko use as a political instrument pour amga the opposition si. So lolu mu ngi firndel ne police bi is not independent amuñ autonomy. So ndax UDP suñ amé government dinañ look into police chiefs yi nga xamne they would not be a political appointment. Police bi dafa independent ñu mëna def seen liggéey nañ ko waré def without any political interference.
Well, the UDP lingom moy the government institutions are here to serve any party that comes to power. They are here for that. What we believe in is that the head of the civil service should not change because there's a change in the political leadership of the government. Because the civil service should be a political, completely, devoid of political interference. Completely isolated from partisan politics. That is what we believe in. We also believe that the security forces, all of them, should be completely apolitical. 10 positions should not be dependent on their allegiance to a political party. That is what we believe in. And to that extent, when you don't fight that in the Constitution, in fact, in the 2020 draft, the independence that is given to the Inspector General of Police, we wanted it to be maintained. You want to did it, I'm going to leave. If you do that, Inspector General of Police, because President Bibu do them, those because the Inspector General of Police is assured man, when President the joke, because he doesn't like my face. They will do their work properly without fearing any reprisals of any sort. Yes, the current AIG, I would have advice. One, you should not be showing any favors to the current president, because if you do, one, professionalism is going to show that, and two, because Barrow system mola sale. So the yana duga negimboka gen dwasa send wahi nanyo na implement ko ko na you shouldn't allow that at all. And indeed I had reason to tell him that, because permit being here pour suma welcome be they not more than 30 people as executive member allow inside the airport premises, the rest of the people to stay outside at the gate. Musicians see the joke you first airport be dull with people. Other people you first airport be dull. A national leader 30 people only of the executive members. Living airport premises. All the rest to be outside. Time be from 5 o'clock to 11 o'clock. Amen. That was unreasonable, unrealistic.
Thank you. Okay.
Because it has never happened. Even Chitami, when I return on my overseas trips, they never said that it has to be this time and that time. Try on at one time, with one IGP, while cook then could take plasam. While subsequent IGPs, you know, definitely Lutamam water the flow, Lutama one co. And I still advise him. He's a young man. And I've taught him to be a very young, but very polite person, courteous. And I just want him to continue his career there as a security officer. Bumnango can use coach politics.
Thank you. Thank you. Aziz?
Yo inimbara honorable lawyer Usainu Dabo kachafu tata tembol to meng ndefango malong for na question all be relevant la because nte lafta nun ka follow nun dameng nyinu ye kuntulen jam fata so mbe multiple questions le nyinin kalete sa jibe be meng jabila bari bibi nyine be yala nyinun pour follow ya fo molie muni ete dundi politikoto bayri tumodo mo jama melon bari ntolu dolu men be jang around the 80s nyelo men na wala mu ila loya yati aning 1981 ku ilota molie nyame mune yatina yewo be tuje dunta politiko kono fodum ye injustice menje 1981 ku kono ye inspire ban for ye injustice menje birin jawra botajang. That is a question me along ko laftanu gambianul salong so that it's inspiration soton wala yo fulanjang wo jamano la biribe mul defend kan ku koyla 1981 ku case jimale mu one case ti me along ko bi isa foko ni site fanka kontai ka foko I did justice to this not because of the money but the complication of that case and how you ended up winning that wo be kela nu inspiration bat but still ngalong you can choose. Then the second segment me left anun kamem for B ntefe banko kusaba wole ka banko la yirwa samba follow wole economy ti fulanjango security sabanjango foreign policy nying kusabolu B banko kan itela jeroto ibe nyadile anin bi nintaranu UDP mansakundale be loring abe nying kusabolu nying 3 areas abe address la nyadile pour ka jeko bankoye ta nyato
Baraka Bake, Aziz, in the first place, may in the political, just to say, ko diko, although kabru mo lang approach man ko ngana alpha lije ke kadiamu bar kabru futata soma be essence of kaflan na mototo mo nata alotandala ayenjube akonye konkote lam loya dabati kay ko saba kay ko kunya na jikunya so wojiko me yalon kabuko waya soto adu amonyol fanal ya soto e ko jiko kanatinya o endum politikoto in fact sometimes kabuko that is the burden of hope. The burden of hope. The burden of hope, or not the burden of trust. Kanyada Bidikana, Kavo Konkana Jikotinia, Ella Nole Soto, Kavoko is Ilaftanga Mekaningake, Oto, Ilaftakule Kenyama Bakalaonia. So, well, so in short, Okumo. Oye ma bake odu yata du fana kavoko be gambian ko jamale sonta ni kavoko dalta mena sadola jamanoto be ngana libati be nga lose in one way or the other be nana ke monding tin ko mo killing Na ko mo be ko benga kuto dum be se be kuto do. Na ko benga kuto benga kuto. Na ko benga la 7 o'clock benga la 7 o'clock. So be put in that humiliating situation. Na dignity na ya businna. Na banku di ya kan ya tambulu. E mol kafda ko ngaji ko soto eto. Na banku di ya kan lafta nga kuma ka ngata. Toro men ben kan lafta nga ya bondin kan gabur gabon kan na kodo beti nya kan nyame na economy pitia makat kan nyame lafta nga fen ka fanso na economy can support on the right footing wojiko o funding ko kon kan wala tinya wala yatinna politikoto and of course memfo Janin 1996 nganta soto jeto like other PPP politicians letters among politicians but in October of I think 1998 no of October 1995 October 1995 for no just cause young Aras and Samba back out depot kept in the most sordid and squalid condition. As you say, on hunger benyame in the depot. E kamoto walipanga jela. Ino motola masingu na ni esteleni. Tuloni e ka bonjele to. Ya parla fena wala kan. Tapoli ni afena wala kan we are made to sleep on that. Up till now, nim halla mambota jeto nin soma sita kandia dun tabake. Nin tara tambata kunyi. I still feel it. No problem wata jeto. Ame wodeke sana mona ata kwenye kwa kana mo laji kotinya. Man ningo manso ando dada man naji kotinya la ban ben fanfa na naji kotinya la le. Wala na really do the politics not for any not for the reason Gavoko I had lost what my other compatriots have lost, and we should all get together to redeem our country. Eko Jawarla Jamano kan, yes, Jawarla Jamanoto, I defended cases, but that was not taken against me. It was not taken against me at all. Jawarla Mazokunda, they never did that. But they did that against me because I'm more defend in the commissions of inquiry. So, but then I believe in the cause, and among Sheikh, and in fact, na resolve from Ayola from Bambandi. Now, when you go the Jawaharlal time, the 1981 post Kukoi rebellion. I did several cases, several cases, treason, several, very outstanding, very prominent, but that of Sheriff Diba, because they had to get special prosecutor, very experienced person, from Ghana.
J.K. Dako.
Not before J.K. Dako, not before J.K. Dako, Kozwansi.
I remember.
Cause, from the experience and Yole Nati to prosecute Sheriff Diba, and he had the support of another person, an English lawyer, Mr. Thomas, and they had all people doing research over, and the trap they laid for Sheriff, was so intricate. Even cabinet, which are things that people never hear of. Cabinet conclusions, they brought them to court because they are going to tender them in evidence. So, because Ministry of the National Melter in cabinet, so they want to build up a rejection of the Jawara government. They want to start building a cabinet since he was in cabinet. A back can what open. But Alan Makweroto, Nina colleague Antman Gay, we frustrated them. They tried to put in those documents in court, and we stopped it. That is a case that that I vividly remember. And the Kajeke Dako from government. What was in relation to Baba Job Nyodo? Baba Job trial. There was that. When Baba Job was there, Anata, which is a group of people, and they were alleged to have been involved in subversive activities. They got their open bookshops. And we are the investigators. They opened bookshops, pretending to be selling books, but then they were doing some other things that were really anti-government. And they tried everything. Every step now I blocked him. And ultimately, government had to be doing something by Job and other colleagues. So those are my two cases really I can never forget.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Davo. Kadim.
Mustafa mbe baba konton na bak. Nkontanta bakele anata jang despite ala busy schedule. Mbe la moy lal fana mbe konton na. Menketa dorong mbe baba fa la do ko la. Na UDP nka ba me alonko Mama Jallo wole banta. Ni wala family le be meeting wala banta tenen tambilale. Ni wala family le be meeting sol fon ben kol ka watu men nanka fo ko nyanta programme ol sortan dem bawten. Bari fo nga family ni meet because atele mu bamba mas UDP fans club fanan na president. So yalo wosi fanim family kumande. Yeah, you have no choice for eta ma be in badi muleta ini ye kacha. So mbe wole to ni wala be meeting wala abaring hakilo bal kan janne. Me baba tentula bake mba jayila nyaton ko ka nyinek nyaton ko buka kesendiro ke ka jube ntanyanta tala media house jumale to même favorable ta wara même man favorable mbe ngalon ne baba usenu momo ya long media house ta ko la ko nana nga ko amanna ko bo kile ngawla moy complain la ko ndol nga pabi baland le puraita ala media house adiamuta fonda finda Facebook nga jelenu bari amanke ko papa balanda amanke ko balanda ntolle monson ntolle ka titaje because ama respect ayin alpha disrespect and with alpha disrespect la o kilimo na ci o platform o te ko ka interview le ntol dingol to sonna wala because papa usen be te momento bi nyim bankun kan Gambia kono mandula ko tem bari Gambia banko kan ntol de la balure nga moje akaba doyal aba wo deserve emi ifa alpha ya moyla quand même fo kabrim PPP wato Papa Usenu has always been standing for the poor, defenseless Gambians, both legally, financially, and otherwise. Papa Usenu Gambia di unle ya waling, ntolu fanyolu, wole ya wale kae ko, mlafta le puru bayri fele tombo ndi politiko ka, lafta puru ye tambi nyato. Ngabule noma. Biwo alfalte baluri. Ntolte wolu jamfala nita bena lakira ngangujimi. Nyinantin nan tolbe nyin kebano ma hani sain nimmo mo kafo ko ha hani ka bibe en kebano no ma e ban son ay boje nyin kebano kebayatale mbe nyinin dum fañol be nyinin dulol wato men to baw kana no lalle albe min tole ko mal malon ko ala yu senu be je hani bi atelbe tarlan to leje fona fon ko nyambata bari amam president ya kolo na president ya de mba expect la ko abe tam limito dundi no la banko dimole e saje succession sikeno fonni ke ol fane parlo ke barande la papa nyini kala men wala mo nyen draft constitutional men e ka chaten e ko elafta murundi la député bon pro député wol yakaja papa parti ol be mullo dulale to because draft constitutional nyen ntela miralo to ntenga je nyamen no kacha janne num bari ntela jero to ngaje la ko ning draft constitutional nyen fana manta akamta de tamli mi sotra bari also metar la hanika bi nyen 1997 constitutional kono nde bono la second republic kono kadun ta republic kono laptop baba nyini kala wala Mustafa mba la moral be tentu la mbe jayil.
Well, certainly UDP belong to momentum walong nga transit from second republic to third republic walong UDP la long county adong ngani jitle non kafoko. By 2021, na transition I would have completed from the Second Republic to the Third Republic. And the na Kavako, between 2016 and 2021, a new constitution do sotlale. Adu ala ya long in fontinle me ya long kavoko Gambian kolu dam le sita ikachata iko nino muluatin lafta me yemmara and wo luwa me yalo ko Gambian kol ko lafta wole mara adama baroko hani ko luwa la at lafta luwa menna wolong luwa me yalo ka ko ayata favor alafta wala so CRC mennati ya reject sai ya adama baro ya nati ako wayen sambatar republic adun tel man nukunde adu nakmodum ma ker tofo ma faraba nyantang nga fole directly ko ali national ko kalbe ku kata kan bare men CRC men diala al kana fe mbondi jeto de al kana fe kafama al kana fe nati mole men no magi kilit CRC men nati ala murundi nan wolum banko la kanti de na ko kala so adama baro lafta ya jamela constitution linya la janto ba wala simple majority diala so wo hanibi intel UDP tel ngame mota wo constitution ni so ta nga ngani kono tama fo nga funti jeto gambe ko lafta menna wayna baro la constitution kona kodi molla kafa ka mol force la kota and UDP ko ko konto lafta ta republic la but not a third republic under a baro constitution. We want a third republic under a CRC la draft constitution. That is what we want.
Akuman. Okay, Handy.
Hechi Davo, for it's really good because iko nganing kono tama fon sulata menanga soto. Hechi the biggest problem Gambia. Mol bukala fila kol nganing kono tama la ikala fi kol talale a his a bang. And this is the most important because constitutional discussion or any political party do like mo le ka felo ko al nga nyinta dro nga kol jube nga ang agrita dame nga jube mol buka jube ko nying a rong tale barola constitutional em nyinti ni manke gambe dingol la constitutional so ni mol nyanta sila ya kol jube ya ke ko nyanta nying kol jube la nyanta dalila ka kol ngani kono tama ni ma woke fembuka falling ngol ya jele ko UDP for how many years ibakan how many with all the difficulties problem ibesiri dame so nyine mu tingti me alon ngamira jube lal mel be jubero la mon men ben la moy la nyanta understand la ko bukana jos ay onya molka kelele ika ngani kono tamale pour ay futaje but in the quick question or honorable echi wole mu ko ya fole ko kulmen bebe taraka tamakan jamela time and sign barola time but in a jubele ko ba jamela time more far bijele in addition but barola time say ngajele ko there is state sanctioned poverty me ya lon ko ni dati je ibe kala fuarete fo fa tara ida ye MPP support o ini ye tara nyoka ni mo okay ite mu fuarete fo fa and that's state sanctioned poverty ndeka say mune be kala UDP la priority banko man tara takan banko be jakasiring youthol man to do ko so bakwe be growling kol be growling faro be kekan drogo be kekan mune be kala UDP la priority 2026 ninga benol ko UDP man sakunda fele mune be kala la priority ni jakasiro be economy be sire
well member kala UDP la priority walo melia lon kafoko ya palaso dila so ina kafoko palaso ni ya dila pour Gambia beye so eta falo ko ba kala fasar palaste ko nyimbe UDP le mbole fasala nyimbe ni parti dolto ndu wata fenkala ila Gambia di yaay men dila inyanta la ya soto note na kelo nyimbe andodo tena fasoda yemen fo state sanctioned poverty companies not bijanto mol bi janto mel alam ka ko dia kuya ko silay kanne jam janni be ila community be do ko sod la banko ka ngol mol non janto ya mol forcé janto ka ko ndaba la patrioto ni dimension woto ila contractual sotla ngol di janto le alu wala be keri aba wala be keri ni fana ya jamel jamanota so wo ka mo allow kala ko tamandi because at tela party wala kono wala be kala ku follow te be men kala there should be equality amongst all of us. Of course, positions nyol bijele mele alon kafoko. There are political positions. Ila supporter, ebela fla wala jan. But mele alon the economic operators in the country. Muna yatin on political allegiance should be a reason. Yes, suppressed. They are contributing to the economy of the country. Unemployment situation me baba koka, however, adoyata nyawonya, they are addressing it. Muna yatin na wonya takela. In fact, they should stop labeling businesses unless the business themselves, EFM project, has been supporters of a particular political party. If they don't do so, we should not really try to tag them, label them as belonging to this party or as sympathizing with this party. That is wrong. Then equal opportunities to everybody. Yeah? Places like Public Service Commission, politicians, you take politicians a year back into the Public Service Commission for no reason, because they only want to placate them. The Public Service Commission should be neutral. Public service reforms, so independent-minded people who own no political allegiance, they should be like judges. But look at our public service. For research and communication, you remove from the NPP, then you are as a member of the Public Service Commission. I mean, politicizing that institution. And what if I'm with most boards, with appointments, heads of departments, a special parasocial ila political allegiance, number one qualification for appointment to those offices. Now, because if you have a sanitized public service, problem is all professional. You have advisors, they are political. The only command is what is good for the country. Within a period of 10 years, you can turn it around and you'll have everything.
Okay, Mr. Dabo, left me in Kalaja Honorable, political success on it. Because Foko, Omukuti Mia Lonko, Akaketaman Serle de Bruka Tandiko, Ninga wa Funyato Medofula. So, ila konoto dia bakela minute. Niko political succession anin politic nyaton kol be holda no accountable nyadi le pour kaje ko jenko anin tilimbalia ay boy because yin nyone ne nyanta bannala because ni aje kanyim min fo akake oto teri kafole ba kering momo ni tambita nyato ni nata momo e min londo wala say mol min mam molong mol min ni alon ko mo wo connection no soto wol nyaaji ba fitala nyaadi political succession aning nyaton kol min kanay ka mol nene ñi ñoo kuna mo place bang aske no ñaadi le honorable Dabo.
Well, ngamira sibanno nyamen ko tamol fan lebulu kar ngamira bi femfe be gambe kono bi ye political parties ñodo ye be jele la leadership ñodo how they carry themselves e kam même fo e kama nyamen modio jele so ka do fe ni keso bondi nyoto woto ko mami representa mo nyanto ko la gambian kon so apta gambian kon lebulo mel ya lon ko mel putala in the positions of responsibility atuta wol lebulo ina ya je mol mel la ka foko ila hajo manke fem fenti fo fenyining mele alon kavoko they don't belong to political party, they belong to government. Let me tell you, 2017 up to March 2019 Molmel can I know they associated with UDP. They were not associated with UDP, they were associated with government. Because Usenda was vice president, Usenda was foreign minister, Lamin Dambudiba was minister, Amarsana was minister. These are linked in the UDP. So they were coming not to UDP, but to government. Wala dun siya sa Bangkok. Wala attitude ni Gambian ko nyanto le bulala. Amol kamela long ka ko. Really, ni bijeto ila pasa rotita la politico, ila pasa rotita politico bulala at all.
Okay, janin debina political systems on coming nyatong kaya ka falling.
Well, nyatong kaya ka falling parties. Parties yes. I mean, it means that I spoke about that this morning. We organize congresses every 5 years. We organize an elective congress. No, every 4 years we organize an elective congress, and at these elective congresses, their Gambians are given the opportunity. Our membership are given the opportunity to really select a leader. And I tell you this, Mr. Jamil, nkatla mendenkila ngamira and public moli amwe kavoko look nkananyim for kavoko Mr. A can take me as an example ko ala la fu fangole bembulu na decide ayata why kurang lanka I become bedridden ditaro la dulato or I don't the Morocco for 2016 for Mandra Morocco. So should the party go on without a leader? Nada Kavko Marlono was going for several years. Should the party go on without a leader? No. I always encourage my Kavko party leadership. Any member of the United Democratic Party is entitled to aspire to be the leader of the party. The way we go about it, for me, is what matters. We should go about it in a way that will keep the party united. There should not be any animosity. We are members of the same family, and that membership of the same family, we must really give a lot of credence to that. We must give that, we might fine-tune that, and even flag bearership. Even flag bearer, look, you cannot say, Kavoko, nobody should express an interest to become the flag bearer of the United Democratic Party. Yes, we must. They should. But it must also be done with decorum. It should not be done in a way that will undermine ourselves.
Precisely. Yalong itemu loyalty, lual kulitanya. Full UDP, luatije wala certificate lari ming sajeko lim moy nyatum kaya nyini kilim fula saba nyanta dol fulla pour ngol fanang introduce wala yake. Woluati UDP la constitution okonaba.
And waluati jeto, mayam kakavoko ni palaso ni wat kijeto yebo jeto han wat jeto bari sembo be party dinglale at a congress, particularly elective congress before then, to propose an amendment to the constitution yaki jeto. It doesn't have to come from leader, it can come from ordinary members, from the delegates yaki jeto, and it takes effect before you go to election to select leaders. And then, of course, you have elected on the basis of that new clause in the constitution. If you can only be leader of the party for 4 years. After that 4 years, you step down, and then another person comes in as leader. Another person comes in as leader of the party.
Yeah. Okay. Yalong najero to wodo coming very ni atarno luati je mi along ko akafo ko nyanda ni wati karle nyanda kanye ni obodo je doyna nanje. Odo yamro womu tamanser nyimal di bam ni defanan dar esida foi keta president e bawra aussi faybe continuel o wolbe continuel imame.
Well, yalong kumo mandia bari nak te membe ta hamoto ni seta ni kera president amra modo nding ni modol wal yolondi. Yeah. Kumamandia.
I think kumamandia itu nyala. Lafte murundi la koma. Idiamu tanong iko kom like Mansakunda imanyana Palaso di mola because ayela party le support. Enyanta Palaso di ala because ay makamo nyin soto, ay londo nyin soto, andung ay experience nyin soto. Wo moyo di ata bake. So baringaje coalition wato kono mol Jamal yeminu appoint at the foreign affairs 99.9% bemu UDP supporter, and Bamba is one example here I can use. The other one, Mia Lonko, wasn't part of the UDP. Willem Fakru Silati, Yemen appoint in France. So ite yemning kumofo andong ntelata ko ne kumofo ikakele. But when you are elected president for Itilebo dictate la bank for UDP executive nying or government nying nebe agree la ka foko, we are not only going to appoint Bamba Mas, Sekou Sedili and Karamba Tourenyul, into government, but maybe Suleiman Jeng as his Bojang and Mustafa Jammeh, even though Ndelga Barole support. So how would you decide that?
The ranks of Bamba Mas Nyodu, one appointment was really via the PMO and the Secretary General. But let me clear one thing. It is absolutely incorrect. Political favoritism. Now, the High Commissioner to the United Kingdom, Jill Blaine, I don't know which particular political party he belonged to. Jill Blaine, Natale Kavoko, he was an accomplished diplomat. He worked in the United Nations system and became, I think, head of the United Nations office in Liberia. So he was an accomplished diplomat. And I don't know which political party he belonged to. Ibundur, I don't know which political party he belonged to. I know he was a seasoned diplomat. And I thought, Kavoko, our relationship with Senegal is so critical. You need somebody really seasoned, somebody who can really represent the Gambia. I don't know which political party he belonged to. Juara, he was ambassador on the Jammeh. I don't know what political party he belonged to, but because of his experience, in the field of diplomacy, I recommended for his appointment. And he was appointed. He was appointed ambassador.
Abdullah Boja.
No, hold on, I'll come to that. Suleiman Jack, an accomplished diplomat. He was head of the foreign ministry, permanent secretary minister of foreign affairs. And I thought that this gentleman, Mayalon Kavoko, can serve Gambia's best interest. Mba, we call him Mba, Jajaite, Mba Marom, Jajaite, in Brussels. In Brussels. I mean, an accomplished civil servant. And we thought that he should remain because the EU, for us, is so important. You need somebody who has the ability to really weave through diplomatic maneuvers, get things done for us. I don't know what party he belongs to.
Tanemba.
Now, Tanemba. I don't know what party. I don't know what party he belongs to. Now, who again? Bojang, and everybody knew he was MPP. So, what connection has he got to do with that with United Democratic Party? Ibutal, Amadtal, an accomplished civil servant, and you cannot have a better diplomatic representation like him. These are people on their credentials. The person that Mialan Kavoko, or the politician, outright politician, was Femi Peters. And Femi, really, I think that's the least, really, you can have. And ambassador's appointment are political appointments. But until of me, no. There are positions. The EU, the ambassador to Belgium, who is also serving other EU countries, must be somebody, a top-notch diplomat. So you don't bring anybody there. I also thought that the same thing must apply for this place. for Ethiopia. That must be because you are there, dealing with the AU, all the diplomats of the AU. In fact, the political capital of Africa, of all the diplomats. So you must have a top-notch diplomat, and Suleiman Bunjak answers that. Abuja also, I thought that you must have somebody. Where I fell long as Kokeno, and we have Mr. Taljeto, for Saudi.
Yes.
Mr. Sala was in Saudi.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know what party he belonged to. But then the OIC conference was coming on, and I didn't think that you should remove that such a person, even if he was anti-UDP or he was anti-government. I don't think you should remove him, because before you can get an agreement for a new ambassador to be there, it's going to take time. And we needed somebody there who already has established a relationship with the community and knows their psychology, so that after the OIC, if you want to remove him. But you must maintain. These are the things that informed.
Okay.
That informed my decision to recommend these people to the president for appointment.
Thank you. Much obliged.
Yes, sir.
Jenko anin Chilimbalia anin Nakaro abe beachlo mansa kundame mbije abe keringel kodi abe keringel okay but say ite amira wo se baino nyadile ase bono nyadile ite amira anim fanan nim fulan jambala kamol bondi nyoto ñimmu ñing si karle de ñimmu ñim pati karle de ñimmu ñing fen karle de pour ka mol bondi ñoto pour mbe ñoso tola no ñaaji la ngale kon dol be mu nga Gambia la je Gambia folo nga woji be ko kuto yamira ñin se keno ñaadi la jenko nen til mbala sa bay anim be nga ñoje control mu Gambia dronade Mr. Honorable Law.
Well, Melkamo Cindy ako betalo wolle bolu ko nga fa ñame ye mara lol jele ye pes injan pes pesarol kenole ya jele ngel be tuma men be ministre yala fong dunta janke ku konut bon fong dunta ku kono me yalon ka ko akata tinar kuti nata wodata wala se sabtina ka ko wodo nga palaso ye wuce ding men kijeto ya nyiti nyaro kijeto ni sanji ludi le be men ka be wala be jawala wodi so molu ye fen sot le ben suman na menna nga wucen di men kijeto nga manya menke nga nafa menke banko o kijeto isi suman no ne bakela haklola so and of course kawka kamo bonyoto no Mr. Bojang APRC la speaker of the National Assembly then when I recommend lanu, but in Koloko, it must be Bansakunda should be an all-inclusive Namiralo Jolalu Nyantale is here in the cabinet. But cabinet position is no, I mean this profile from diplomatic appointment. Okay. If an animal, if an more, you okay, Fanato? So that shows that Continue, you are inclusive. Nobody should be left out on account of your tribe. Nobody should be left out on account of your religion. Nobody should be left out on account of your social status. That not believe multi. Let me disclose this to you. And Mubarak Lo Benna. Funko James Gomez. Then propose Kavoka speaker so that minorities know like Manjagolo. And it the minority Catholics know. Is if Fanja Sakunda Kavoko, they're in line of succession because the president, vice president, speaker. But because I'm of course but that's my thinking. And I tell you, this gentleman, Papa Murjaju in the environment, to be the minister of environment. Because both that didn't for Jola much by Jola Contabar. No, man, that didn't matter to me. I was aware of his potential, his capabilities. And Ngalon Kavuko, if you put him in midst of environment, it will mean a lot for the Gambia, and Gambia will derive a lot from our knowledge, our skills, and our expertise. But environment ministry had gone to some other person. So for me, ninaenda kama za kuna nyado mobile ba fanjala jeto adun the son moya fanya kavoko kar munyineti will not accept that. As some people attempted to do covering ambassador Bojan. Oh yes, I was under heavy fire from Mol Melanco inside UDP. Yeah, attack like mobile form and go ko manganda affair ntangaje kam kanyata kalaten.
Along system of Benjamin, my basic of my question was ibewo kind of elamansa kunda bewo bambandino la nyadile. Is it you as the head of the government iteleba dictate la, or is it going to be a collective decision? Because I believe ko niaje changes all kake public institutional and system nin nyanta change la nyanta rigorous la in such a way ninte keta president wati or this Bojang or Bamba, because institutional system already is changed and is strengthened until tinanola as individual ka wall falling. So what is UDP going to do as a government if you are entrusted, to lead the government? Albe system on falling na nyadi andung albe public institution on strengthened in la nyadi, so that na foreign policy nying si kendea, na security si kendea, na economy nying si kendea.
Well, certainly, as the head of the government, I'll have the primary responsibility to do that, but I'll have to do it in consultation with the other cabinet members, because it cannot be a one-man affair. We have to act collectively, and we also will also rely on advice of our experts who will not necessarily be in mainstream government. Will not necessarily be in mainstream government. I tell you, I mean, I'll go to the academia to seek for advice. I'll go to the professional bodies. To ask for advice. I will not, because we will not confine that to ourselves. That as pretenders we know all. No, we will not do that. At least under my own leadership, I'll not do it. I'll even go to the extent of instituting a quarterly conversation with my colleagues on the other side of the political divide, because their thinking would be very relevant. I mean, because the government in waiting has plans, has ideas. So you don't think that the Kabuko, you will do things on your own only. I would institute a quarterly conversation with my colleagues in other parties, so that Yalon Kabuko, this country belongs to all of us, and we should all partake, at least in shaping the destiny of the country. We may differ on ideas, but then we'll get something from you, and we can agree on the modalities of implementing those ideas. And that is not to say that we are not capable of doing it, but then we want to have so that an all-inclusive, that there's a government that aspires for inclusivity. And this is a promise, and I tell you, our party. Let me just say that these are ideas that in our party cadre, these ideas that we are inculcating them. This is what we stand for. These are our values, and they're accepting it. These values we must all carry on, so that whether Hussein Dabo is there or not, these values will be there, and they will continue to guide the membership of our party.
Mr. Dabo, abarakabake, batu kanu.
Exactly. So this is all I was
always mu consensus building in governance.
Finally,
Suleiman Batum Polo.
Alhamdulillah, nyim fonga nyin donkilla. About politics. No, honestly, left up because that was exactly the question I was gonna ask.
So yeah, it's absolutely very good. And I'm very impressed, to be quite honest. I'm very impressed. I've been following
Then
people
are you,
like
are you
Labi
joining
Sise
us
and others.
today? I want
So
to hear you say it in front of my dad that you are joining UDP today.
no, I'm not today. But in the final question, just to rest my case, ni
Yeah.
Gambian elect and you became the president, will you also maintain the same presidential advisors?
You mean numbers?
Look,
Yeah.
my ministers are my principal advisors. My permanent secretaries
Fanta.
are my principal advisors. I'm
Fanta.
not going to
Baba Diam.
create offices to placate political colleagues. You can have a way of doing that, other than making them a burden on our budget. Have special advisors. Melan Kafka need 12 because of no. Maybe sign on don't maybe sign on for only study teachers also to be a current out to construct good sentences. I mean, no, it's a waste of resources. If you cannot rely on your if you cannot rely on your
Suleiman,
permanent secretary and other technical experts, then I mean what institution you do, I mean they're hopeless. You want to rely on what? Can you make your call them special advisors? Oh my God. Oh my God! I will never have that, because that is an unnecessary burden on our budget, and it should not happen.
Lafte jang kwendi honorable Dabo. So ila fa follow ko biti la president wala advisor min bi je wol nafatel.
Na fale tela ka kat campagne men kaide. Ayo na fa don to. Tell me, what benefit does Humbalo bring to the civil service of the Gambia, to the Gambian populace? Kata gentlemen advocating for Barrow at our expense. Do so, no? Mobilize at our expense? No. I mean, if the president wants to have advisors, there are people here. This email constitute a group of people, and so that in the economy they'll try to do something, give a proper advice, invigorate our economy, energize our economy, sanitize the public service, and then the security sector reform, I care properly. Yes, you can have those things. The National Security Advisor, I think that's a position well deserved. Wanyanta Sotlali. But other than that, these others, these politicians, they are failed politicians, and then you placate them. I mean, really, National Security Advisor, I think, is one that should be maintained anywhere. You have it in any government. It should be. And of course, economic advisors. You can constitute
albe mfama diamundi kanne ando itatuli yalonne watu baba diamuta modol buka suto sino yonte nte lafta menna drone lafta baba e dula kilinne fo Gambia dingoli banko molbe fitinola molbe nyo tabakan wala mun nanyin local government solti alkalo yal ni safe yalu nunto traditional ngamentra tolla watu la ekake watu menna automatol be funding keato ekake nyame wala mun nin simbota si yedum mol fon leke fon la nyaton ko tombo to birin APRC regime nata inata na obusi banko dingol la ya ke tati itolle ke sa sindi mol kunna itara mol batandila itolle ka alkalol sa ngaje ka hani alkalol fon lo e ka alkalol ke mol kunna mol fon man la fi alkalol men in a UDP government fo banko dingol wo sembo be murle kanne bam fondum ba maintain la le purum fanon ka alkalolu tombo anin sefol lafta baba nyin kalaw
and UDP latter men identify personally latter men well on the traditional institutions nyantali can maintain. Tonya, you want to democratize our institutions, but then institutional do be jetole. Mele alon kavoko bole ya itan the momenti. Nganu wogula unyama. We are not more democratic than Ghana. But Ghana tajeto the Ashanti land, the Ashanti hene bijeto. You go to Fanti land, a lot of traditional rulers will maintain jail, and it's by succession. You go to the Alafin of Oyo, the Oba of Lagos, the Sadauna, the Amir of Kano, You'll be more traditional rulers in your lady. Not and it's by succession. We are not more democratic than them. To carry the traditional institutions, alingi bula, wetra wonya. Yalon B, yeah, na brother Professor Dabo. Atle be dobo kemo la bunkon, dobo kemo la tambo bole bul. Nimmen koy botalo bulu. Kadi moko lebe kelo le natla. Because the tradition auto, that is the authority in Dobo. Atel tam tambonyente. Nate mensim bateka. Ni koy bol bola. Eka tonkole nati. Sate moli la alkalol mumelti. Tukare yake yebula yela alkali yake. Kana foko ibe cool nat la jeto. Membe fitno nat la moltema. Bantel de nintel sitade. Alfal memu kebati. Kaduka kajale banko dolu. Rama. Ekaje ko jamiol de ka kese 40 wato dolu manual wato dolu sonkol ajibe who is the eldest amongst them we see abamansa we ka fama komansa sinyi wole mansa sin wole siato ikana foko ibe mol ila sindimo ila surga menati yake nendin diala ya di muskinin diala tama wena I fearing I terror sotamansa kunda kono kana connection of care use yala sato nyi ya tabulu ya wala man correct
Akumado
na traditionally with na tradition song konyo we should follow that am nyanda ko follow
ila kabri boda America ila speaking seems to be a lot more different from ila previous speeches all. Because in America, kabri boda je ila speaking was more focused on government policies and then programs. All you spoke about the economy, you spoke about rising crime, you spoke about drugs, and a lot of other things. But you never spoke about President Barrow's passing, which in the past used to happen. So Munewo changes Nati. Why did you decide to focus now more on policies and programs of the government than Barrow?
No, because I had even during 2021 presidential election, I've convinced myself that people should be voting for programs, not how bad. When the president can be bad policies, the president can be a symptom of bad policy. But then I think we want to talk more of policies. I was laying the ground. As I'm trying to lay the foundation for what would be 2026, for what we'll be talking about 2026. In fact, from January 2025, we'll be seeing more on policies, and we'll see more on how to implement those policies. That doesn't mean, Kavoko, we will not be critical of the government, but we are not going to be personal. Okay. Certainly, we are not going to be personal. Yeah.
Mustafa Ngamran Teleman chance to ask a second question.
Okay, go for it.
I want us to be fair.
Yeah, no, because
Mustafa Manfea Kanyinele.
Kanyina Nale, Bari, Mr. Dabo left in Kalamena, intending program or Banola, Manda Spora la Kuofo. Barin tulfawo membe sirin jamu diaspora mollet wati nka moy politician ol ning ibe carte o nyinila ika foko diaspora is the malum for 8 region lembam for 9 region or whatever yo barinin nata towards carte fayola diaspora la position buka chance di la carte o fay bi ite amirako 1 month sakunda nyanta munekela to include the diaspora bari fana ning a UDP government sita numbi wala nitele be baro advice la iba advice la munela men sati na fo diaspora fana se kango soto bankola tama nyata.
Well, covering for 2001 presidential elections, UDP la positiono momenti wala mol melbe in the diaspora inyantali ye dabula president tambon banko kam kado diaspora kam menka diaspora lo nyabe men na banko kanjanto akumayata so much so that femfe yalon kavo ko be kala banko la president fana nyanta le kafu tombon de lalma kado bi me yalon kavo ka kana remittance me yalon kavo kana through the formal sector, through banks and so forth. Asiata bake, ekamel welcome samala rol melke, ni data yin dimbinkida, ni data yin dimbarina, well dabuka cancer budgeto. It's a huge amount of money. In the economy, the diaspora are contributing to it, very, very significantly. And investment in the country, in terms of developing, purchasing and development properties, so if kumayata bakele pour banko but tanda budo men kono fanale dabula jeto wala kata UDP la stanti all along. In fact, ni Bishop Telewa Johnson no ya dokule first time kola konyi dabina kelale ya bondi because ngamira government ya jal kafoko farmer kete ila interesting. Kabin Gabriel Roberts not muruta nan kotenke, not try to put naya work, but women for the cost. Kako we can approach foundations, Westminster Foundation, NDI, the IRI, because we can approach, human rights and democracy, organizations. They will be willing to fund these type of projects. But how do we do this selection? Yeah, well, what to tell Bulu? So UDP has always been advocating for it, and we continue to advocate for it. And the Nintel Sita, that's the first thing that we are going to do because the elections actually are provided, the current elections is replicated in the bill that is before the National Assembly. So the Independent Electoral Commission should conduct registration of Gambian nationals abroad for the purpose of presidential elections, so that they can do the registration. The argument coming for how do you demarcate the constituencies? About constitution that have to be constituencies. How do you demarcate the constituencies? You have the Americas. Why don't you make the Americas one constituency? Yeah, or even Americans can make into three constituencies. Europe, you have Central, you have the Nordic countries. So to cark into constituencies should not a difficult thing at all. But there's the willingness is not there, the political commitment is not there. But we believe Kafoko because we realize how much the diaspora is contributing to the economy of this country, how much the diaspora how much they are doing in shaping the political opinion in the country. So they should not be left out. They should not only be shaping, but they should also be part of it. And of course, we also want to see that this provision in the constitution, in fact, I think it's even in the current draft. If you are in the diaspora or you hold nationality of another country, you cannot be a minister. These other nationalities from call are nationalities of convenience. You want to stay in the country so that you are not molested, nobody comes after you, but all the time. They bring you back from here. So we should not just limit the appointment of ministers from among people. They call themselves Gambians only. Somebody might hold a German nationality is Gambian, but it's probably more dedicated to Gambia than the Mayalon Kavoko. The only nationality I hold is that of the Gambia. So when you belong to Malo Contella Miraliam Bato, Namirala Bato.
Yeah, Mustafa Mbaladron last question just to clear it because it has been very hot. And then ngaje comment all from Abenaka. Echi molka fole ko echi kebayatale anyanta dindingol fulale. And bintol ngaje loko UK with so much energy, vibrant energy, focus, clarity. And energy is just like, yeah, whoa. So even Munefola, because Neka for Moleko, Gambian Nene Man Keba leadership soto. Jawara Natale when he was 41. Yeah, Jaminata when he was 29. Baronata when he was 51. In fact, the worst leadership we ever had was led by a young person. That is 29. Even Munefola wo mole the last question. Mol men ka foko Keba tale yenta dolfo.
Avoy ko ninke bayata. Ngasa jamal so de ban haklo man koto folode. And that's the important thing.
Being a
and certainly bedo ko men as a lawyer you have to be mentally alert. You know, kadu ko be funtle nyame, you know, imalong, and you should be well prepared to tackle it in a way, to handle it in a way. May along kafoko somebody with a deficient mind. May along kafoko haklo man trajeto attack no la nyame. Allow for a call. I'm not going to football. Nimban president. I'm not going to lead a football match. You know, and even football match from brain like a work jeto. My brain, among koto, and alhamdulillah, nka katale really to na brain, you know, to work just as a 25-year-old. I tell you.
Yeah. And just to add up to the question on. Don't count.
The Honorable Matar Jeng, he passed away about 2 or 3 days ago. One day we were talking about this age. He sent me something. You know, when you are 60, you are good. When you're between 65 and 75, you are better. But when between 75 and 85, you are the best. Because that is agreed by a scientist. He said that to me. Yeah. So these people can you remember about this? This really knocks down out their arguments. You know. But again, I'm saying that, you know, those who believe that it's an issue, let them make it an election issue. Let them make it an election and let them say he's old. You know, so you shouldn't vote for him because don't you see his mental capacity? He's incapable of understanding this. He cannot handle this properly. But at least we have seen in Liberia, yeah, they've elected somebody who is older than me. See, my friend Alassane Ouattara is trying to go again, much older than me. You know, but Gambia no boanyata, you know, and I appreciate it very much. And I thought that people should make an election. If the Gambian people believe that an older person of my age should not lead affairs of this country, let it be.
Thank you.
Mustafa, let me just come quickly. Ikafo UDP ning NPP, they are 6 and 9. And what would you say to those people? Minuka for UDP ning NPP mu 6 and 9 ulti.
Well, I think quite honestly, I think that's an insult to us. I think that's an insult. Let me ask. I mean, you have had an interaction with Larry. Do you find anybody in NPP may allow voice of Larry's caliber? Anybody who Mr. Mani's caliber? No, that's an insult. And they have nothing to say against UDP other than that 6 and 9. And these are people.
When they say this 6 and 9.
And 6 and 9, and these are people who really have not been known for any commitment, politically committed. They are people who have been jumping from people of politically of no fixed support. So for me, you know, those are just talks. But again, in politics, you know, you can do anything. Anything below the belt is normal in politics. But I think it's an insult to us. Really an insult.
Yes. Honorable Dabo, janim bita, watu sita ba, watu rada ba, ke ngalo niwelo konko bela sa infang.
Jambe kunango.
Niwelo konko bela, but janim bita, imere jambake, no, ngeten duo kambake. But lafte nyini gala kukil nela, janim be kukumfala. Anyim amanda kala nyini nasa keno jabe sutonde. Yamera Gambia, nsula ta falin yadilla, njula muna falin na, nsula ta kambina falin.
Well, insula ka taman rinya le falling, but taman rinya falling, wabe mola ka taman ro falling. Taman ro ka from falling. And system change. But system change cannot happen without human agency. Hadamading, ibola kala dulanyento, I see someone falling. Systems don't change themselves. It is human agencies change to the human being. So, what if the ecosystem change? By the way, more less falling now. More better than the system will change. That system will come falling now. So, most of all, Kijeto, system will change.
So, what the most of the beating?
Of course, most of it Kijeto.
Akumada. Honorable Dabo Mbeten to la Bake Mbejela. Jannim bita jama jaman kalafi ko ko minti yemma koy karun ndebo ga fo yamaron do ga fo le konoto dia mine bakela sa nga platform yele mine bakela la konoto diati na kacha ko la bi nyaton kaya ani maralo ni maral kango banku dingol bebe la moy kan yintembeng mine bakela la konoto diati bitilon na kacha ko to jannim bita Honorable Dabo.
Kumoto jamfala na nyatan ko yakono savem fo nyatan ko nyatle ye kankanto kuma yata baki ye kankanto kino otsalan kawo ko ila kunun kumolo anin bita ta fatala wati ibe mirlale ye kan mendi ni haklo bokan ibe menkala bi ayibe menkala sama abebe kala illa banko la nyato ta dammanete and kana sonyu fanan nako nga fo place lom kana fini lafta fini kala alnga bo mainstream administration kono ngata ngana business ol karala or business fa nimbe kana mal kala yeke tilin kono kad ni te yake tilin balia kono mansa lebe fola kono kad menya ta futala mansa ma ta futala no adim benga sinyon nako ka ko banko nyin bele kanya na no second class citizens ko ka fa nyame bo jambay no la kombo bele kanya ta janto dambe din city janto me alon ka fa siyata doti amusla kela ngolo nyofe falo nyofe ka foko potiko dembe bato melba sobe yato ikolo ko ye fenneje e sulata mena pour banko nyi ete fana yo fe kilingleje iko sulata la pour banko nyi barum beko wonyanta soto la nyame ado bato fatata wotole mamira kanka fo nganyolu to kata ifalinta manke kilini bem kilinete barum ba soto la nyame woto ningo muta taw ko be banku bi Gambia Gambia ni be lafta wala nyaado tala woto basic kata kenole ni banko ni ngata mano nyaato sinyi lon fanan ko ni banko ajaw foro momenti fi na men kasabo tilimbalia ninte yaje kafo ko mem yalon kafo ko wala mun na right iko be mballa wala injustice akamuna wula ka finole wulu wala dum banko la jaw folo ti kodum be ngakata nga killing ka patinal mal fankono linjeto na pati dingo teme nimbe marlo la man sakunda nga killing man sakunda nyukono kabo ko telle marta Gambia bela opposition bang a participant na participant telle marta bela wodon yebe kanyande nana na political wala na bin fata fansona banda banku di ya monya kana mo balwala ngali ngokata adu kana konnante yang kana sabatin tamangate nan haklotu na kumolto kad nyaton kaw nyaton ka ya korewol lesoto o korewol ke la moy la bake adu korewol dum nyaton ko nyantale ka ibe fem fola ibe fem korewol ake espera daf ko he ndafana lefta kala ni ko yaaje na ke bañe yaay president ñe it should be inspirational surtout banko nyaton ko hannabe kaja hannabe jos la tendro jos lo me yalon ka anyanta mo inspire ya ne fo nyanta jal nyaton ko ngakata ngoke ngakata benga ke Cairo anin tenkun kawandi lalti benga ko na do koti ni wakata ngai ka nyim banko abeta nyatole adun be nyomoy la de bebe mblodi la nyola de pour banko nye ngata mande adun lafta gambe ding be benga kembe place ni ngulo barin kana ke nyindura ke fati kana ke nyofata and more sitting up on the jeto hostility up on the jeto kana fa nyimma ka opposition kana fa opposition dal mo we are contending alternative when opposition when negative connotations and we are not at all doing anything negative left dal nyum kuman sutundi wala mola ka ko nyinam tati on tani alnga muta ko konta kana ko teletamu adon kana nyomo ka ko itelo anin telo intel belam kilindi don lafta ko kanok mo dinola ala baraka bake ale wato mendina Mustafa ila ko kindo ne fan kala signi chuchu ode amira nyanto falinalde ya no Allah to falinal nyanto falinal na do bad love jam wala na wasing do chuchu na li wadati jeta ala baraka baga jamia
Janni Bita, Honorable Dabo. So say panelists will be able la final thoughts for more 30 seconds. Yo, Aziz, ila final thoughts, ila kono de Janni Bita, what or other back? Even mute le Aziz.
Mbena party leader konton na back, kontanta back, being a statesman moy. Ala kachabi karaforole mu Gambian ko be. Amandiamu UDP, amandiamu against NPP, ay Gambian kolle yamar. Même kuma yatante fe nyin kacha kone wala mu alafu ko nyaton kola kuma kan nyanta kamodu inspire. Amanyan kela kamodu instigate to violence. Umu message leti that we should all take away. Nimoli karafa fengota ya dila ye tambindi. Itele nyanta ka tambi molu nyato in terms of ka Cairo sabatindi ngawo moy nyin kacha kono akuen kontan baki bari mbe nyim panelo fana tentulambe jayla bin karanta kula jang woto yo yara fanyaje Gambia political Gambia debate ya samba to the lowest point of UDP MPP. The moderators fangole kawo instigate. Into feeling and kajam for almost ngaban. Little did we talk about who is fu jimale nyim for jimale nyink. Woto nyanta kela example leti na media molu. Pour se bankola kajansa elevate beyond just personality politics. Ngawole jejang ala barakabake.
In barakabake as a soul.
Yeah. Maya Santa Honorable Davo di ko gere bu baax waxtaan bi na torop and kontaan naa because faran fanci naa yoo xam ne yi ma bëggoon a dégg ci moom benn wax na ne nguuri UDP du nekk nguur boo xam ne dafay faran fanci doomi Gambia ni te dina nekk nguur boo xam ne du tànna ne ki UDP supporter la o ki mbokki Dabo la waaye képp ko xam ne dinañ la jox place si nguuri UDP dafa fekk nga am xam-xam bi mu nga màcc ci loolu tamit dafa dallu xel ci doomi Gambien yoo xam ne ñu ngi ci bitim réew am nañ xam-xam bi jàng nañ ñu ngi liggéey te am nañ cofeel pour ñëw liggéey ak seen réew ñetteel bi wone na ne nguuri UDP suñ toogee dinañ focus on these three major policies mooy economy bi security ak foreign policy bi te réew yi ñoo ko téye te obviously beneen bi tamit wax na about li ma gën a ñor mooy ci presidential advisors yi dégg naa keneen président bi Ruto mu ne the ministers ñooy war a nekk presidential advisors te président bi waruta xam the ministers department more than minister bi so obviously loolu dafa doy xel parce que soo buggee defar sa économie doo overspend doo spend wastefully so any nguur boo xam ne bugga na économie bi baax mu dëgër bunta boo xam ne dafa waste xaalis daf koy tëj te honorable Dabo wax nañu tey ne ñoom suñ toogee loolu la ñuy sukkandiku wax na tamit ne suñ toogee security sector reform bi boobu dañ nañ ko doxal te ni mu waree ba pare security services yi dinañ am seen autonomie te réew bu nekk loolu la bugga ñun dañ dee toog fii di ne waaw xam nga ñuy meeso Gambia to suñ standard si dëkk yi nekk standard yooyu lañ def so suñ buggee Gambia àgga si standard boobu nit nañ nguur boo xam ne dina taxaw tànka yoo xam ne dinañ saxal loolu ci biir dëkk bi so honorable Dabo wax na ci loolu so léegi des na si yéen doomi Gambian yi yéen a xam li ngeen bugga ak fan ngeen bugga Gambia tollu in 2026 ku nekk dina am di opportunity so liñ dee wax itaamuru itaasugu waaye man gëmuma ne nguur dañ ko war a wax itaamuru itaasugu nguur dañ koy jox subu o ñu jox ko muru so nit ñi téye benn bi nga xam ne di would negotiate because soo joxee nguur sa muru ak sa subu fu ko neex lay dog so yow doo dese dara so jërëjëf honorable Dabo te tamit firndeel nga ne sa xel ba tey xeli xale nga am xeli waxambaane nga am because ñun fi toog 2 hours te yaa ngi wax ba dama guilty woon sa ne ki war nañ ko may time tuuti o ñu jox ko time mu naan waaye wone nga that energy ak sa intellectual living cohesion because yaa ngi wax topics yi nekkuloo di jongul nekkuloo di bit about the bush yaa ngi wax and everything is falling into place kula follow mu ngi xam ne kii li moo wax yaa ngi jàng yaa ngi liit mil ne gumbo yaa ngi téye banta bi di ko woon yoon bi te lii lañ expect si njiit sooy wax sa ideas yi dafay tey te dafay sella te bu nekk dafa toppalante te firndeen nga loolu physically xaw ma sa strength because gisuma ndax yaa ngi taxaw waaye li gën a am solo mooy xel bi so wone nga boobu ne mu ngi wér te mu ngi sax jërëjëf ñu ngi la sant di la gërëm
Sol, are you UDP now like Bamba said?
No, I'm not UDP. I'm still NPP.
Okay, Bamba, your final thoughts. Kadim.
Mustafa, as you can see, me driving la bari me baba control la drone. Katen to kaje ka itanda la control kai tolbe duala the mansatal aso jati kende ala. Ane si my kato baba go ninke ba tek sato men kono. O sato kido tale. Ndolbe la firim baba la le puru ala ya jato kende andi ala ya sima yandi.
Amen.
Baba Gambia la peace pa bulo kono mo bele wolong. Inke ba manke fitna moti, inke ba data fitna kuto. Ifawlu ka fola fang hani tonko to jimmi nyolo ka fola ko ha hanni nga muneke aba fola alinga ta kot. Data fitna mot, fitna kuto. Amanke nyindi ko afana mal la fito nyala. ay banko le je anda malla fi banko di wol le niyo bop ken sanke ninke ba Mustafa albebe la bana UDP la momo mantara UDP abebe la bana UDP la because ninke ba be simala fola bo fon ka jati lol
Okay, Kari.
that's what I'm for wale thank you very much for coming.
Thank you so much. Okay, Ndey, Konotodia, your final thoughts.
Love that for Barka Bake Echi. It's always good to see you and always inspiring to listen to you. Definitely, I mean, the energy, the vibrant, the clarity, the purpose, is just amazing. And ngavira ayomoja ma put to rest le. And saying along ko Suleiman ning gambala kelo ato wati program oto ngala that would be laid to rest. Barka Bake ila time. I feel so proud because this past days, no country because your budget ole nati. They launched the budget and the budget doesn't favor a lot of councils. And the president is going from one place to the other, one media house to the other, one organization to the other, just to try to sell this budget that is so much content. So to see Ndolfanana leaders like you, another coming Kanajang, Kamol Faham, the Kakul clarify, Mol membe siri be confused, Malo membe keri manso, Kasi for hours and hours. Ima for Kompata Teresa, Ninkajantele, Alkan Ninkan question or then you question or because sometimes program, but you just come collected and took all the. It's really inspiring. A barka bake echi that you are here. Alama. Lambama abe janne aba fala ko na president no suma president bi
ya kontoja
TV mo mala no na wuli sama na ko alal ma suma gaay ngata do ko la ngatu jang. But thank you so much. It really helped. From more and the clarity is important. More lafta la mo kan na more for na mo indro for na alfal. Abarka bake, albarka bake, abarka.
Ini bara bake Ndey. Honorable Dawa jannim bita. Hono mboko kum fala minna. Mbe tentola bake mbe jela. Bari ngani hamo soto pour kana dingo sambanan jan dingo ni fa malum fo albinala la pour nga si jang kacha. Honorable Ousainou Darboe and President Adama Barrow pour nga na si Skype o jang nga kacha. Ibo kala Honorable Darboe.
Asika no dada nyanta kala fanande. Then nga nyatla nyambe diamla ngaji ki from the body language fang mol sinjikol from the body language anyanta kala. And in fact it's just like a presidential debate, just like that. Although it may not be a debate because you don't catch it. That's really and these are things I don't think any media house in the Gambia has explored. Because
B janni bita lafta prem mako ya fanyako ye President Adama Barrow challenge Skype and ask Skype jang pour nga kacha lafta ko kuma kawol iso fono nyala ba
hani yala nin kon ba challenge yala challenge wo mo kaloleti idan ta fala ko ngi challenge
yes
sava bitu na ka kon mbela jame kun nan kanding be sirun la dolto maybe mo fulo sita jelo ngasi ninga bianco le kacha in a very relaxed atmosphere
this
at pipeline before April 2016. When in that relaxed atmosphere we can do it. I think we can do it. I don't president na ngasi Sky Power na kacha drong very in a mode that's I can know.
Ini barawake
Sky Power le viewership ni abe fankala bakele abe warla bakele
abe tela
and this I think that should be encouraged. This I think that should be encouraged. Shouldn't be cover come the debate lele with animosity, just in a very relaxed mood. Le kacha. Yeah. Le kacha. ya mira ka ko tebe ni mega kama ko dole namba ke kan dole so ima sina jan ta flo ko be men ke kama correct kada do ba ko dolu abe ke kan ko dolu fo kan nyanta mel lon na jete mol la don je to ni lon di wala me ba ta flo ko tenke o ke nole
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Honorable Dao, thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you very much, Jamie. Okay. Bye-bye.
Yo, budon lamara ni liberalu mobe dawada ni be watu to nyinona local civic education program o minga so kabonan Skype or radio and TV services program o nyinkana demasi wo sibitle kabo talan lulu UK time kada talang woro la jama kana awake jan wana wanyon ke jan so pour kana ka kacha kulla minni ya lonko e bedending banko la kulla la mi ya lonko wolen sula kana pour ka la fik pour ka kacha wala la jam budung coming honorable Dabo ya fanyaming ko ni alasonda mba katala le pour nga futa president Adama Barrow fanana be letero safela le mbe kato be kala pour nga je ko ni ataran wasa bendino ainanang nga kacha kula because jang na environment jama aka ke environment la de mi alonko galafi ay friendly and then I matured fanam mol min baby jang momo faham ringo la de minikana programme to jang so momo ye fenje mi alonko ay nya fa nyim programme re nyim programme o nyisia so state house management dokulal be Mafole Butung Honorable Dabo ko ay President Adama Barrow invite Prasina Nanjang Purunga Kacha Akumata Bake Butung be Molbe Tentulambe Jela Skype or Civic Education Program Molbe Toyala Jang Alnal Badimalo Mustafa Jame member Sirim program o kunna facility nala inshallah Alimbara.